Hello and welcome everybody into a PHNX Suns Postgame Edition. That's right, we're coming to you live after the Suns beat the Lakers. Yeah, that's right. The rivalry renewed, 117-105 in Game 2 of the preseason. That's about as much excitement as you're going to get out of me about the game. I'm your host, Greg Esposito. Ahoy, hoy. Joined as always by two-time, it's Lindsey Smith. And it's not Gerald Bourguet. No, we're not. He's not here today. It's Saul Bookman. Saul, how are you?
He's off in the Mile High City.
Yes, he is. He's
maybe getting a mile high. I don't know. We'll see.
It's legal. So.
It is legal. Just like it's legal here.
It is.
But I'm doing fantastic. I'm glad the preseason is one game less now. Let's move ahead.
You know what else is legal here? Gambling. And that's why our show is brought to you by DraftKings. DraftKings Sportsbook, America's #1 sportsbook app. Put $1 down on any football game. If the team scores 1 point, either team, you're getting $100 free when you use that code PHNX when you sign up for the app. So thank you to DraftKings for sponsoring us. Yeah, look, it's preseason, and we can get high, you can get really low when it comes to preseason. I get indifferent. It's nice to see flashes from people, which we did. JaVale McGee had some very nice plays in this one. Deandre Ayton, pay that man his money. He has another double-double in his career. It seems like anytime he steps on the court, it's almost an inevitability. But you can only break down Game 2 of the preseason so much.
Yeah, there's not much to break down here. I mean, there was certainly things that you've been wanting to see. I liked how Landry Shamet handled the ball, and he kind of played a point guard role for a little while there. So I liked seeing that little versatility. He looks pretty good. He looks ready to go for the season. DA looked good. Like, for the most part, everybody played very well. Mikal took a lot of shots, connected on some. He looked like he was being more aggressive, which is good for right now. You need to kind of get into that flow of doing that. And yeah, it was just another preseason game, basically.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I did like the second unit. I liked how they looked out there. I think it's going to be fun to watch them play this year. Love JaVale, of course, that addition. I don't think you're going to miss a beat when DeAndre comes out and JaVale comes in. And I am very thankful for that.
Yeah, and to your point, Saul, with Landry Shamet, I didn't realize that his handles were as good as they were.
Yeah.
He was sold as a three-point shooter, a backup, two, but it comes into the game, some impressive offensive moves at 4 assists in 27 minutes of play, but it looked fluid. He had a turnover that he telegraphed kind of the pass, but that makes this offense more dynamic in that second unit because the more ball handlers you have, the better off you're going to be.
Yeah, I think not only that, but also, we got handed Jay Crowder 4-point play today, which was pretty cool. He had 13 points, double digits across the board for like 5 different guys. They left as a team and a unit that was trying to rely that kind of relied on Booker and Paul to score a majority of the points, and at least in the preseason, it looks like it's distributing nicely across the board, and everybody's getting a little love on the offensive side. And you need to build that confidence as you move forward because it's not going to be like that when the season starts.
Yeah, 7 guys in double figures. Mikal Bridges with 15, DeAndre Ayton with 14, Jay Crowder with 13, Abdel Nader with 10, Cam Johnson with 13, JaVale McGee with 12, and Cam Payne putting in 11 in 17 minutes. We were having a discussion. We watched the game together with some of our fellow PHNX family members, and I don't remember if it was Jacob, our executive producer, who it was that said, "Is there a deeper roster in the NBA than this group?" And it got me thinking because there really is. There's 11 guys on this roster that you look at, especially if Jalen Smith can actually be an impact player, even in a small role. There's like 11 guys on this team that you could put out there confidently. And to your point, the second unit is better than some of the teams that the Suns ran out over that half decade before Monty Williams got here.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. I mean,
Not much more you can say than that, right?
What else do you want? What do you want me to say about those teams? I mean, they were rough years. I'd like to leave them in the past.
Yeah. For multiple reasons, I'm sure.
I agree with your assessment. I think, again, when you're looking at the things that you're trying to get accomplished in the preseason, you're just looking for development. You're looking for guys to get their legs back underneath them in a game type situation. They did that. They took care of business tonight, and they moved on. And nobody got hurt, which is which the real goal is. The Lakers held out a couple key figures in Westbrook and LeBron, and overall it was a good solid game. Good, plenty of things to fix, but overall, you got to be happy with their effort.
Well, the way that Monty Williams is approaching this too, he said this yesterday at practice, because he was asked yesterday, why have another practice? Like, you just got home from your first preseason game. Why was it important to get back in the gym and have a practice? And he said the way he approaches this is the first week of training camp through preseason is all training camp. It's one whole training camp. That's how he looks at this. It's all about conditioning. It's rhythm. Yeah. It's, they do have the continuity, but building in those guys who are newer to this team. So that's his approach.
And it's just smart, because once you get into the regular season, you can't practice most of the time. No. It's walkthroughs. It's some strategy sessions. It's film. It's weightlifting, but you're not getting full-fledged practices in most cases.
It just depends on how many days there are in between off days.
You got to take advantage of, because now's when, sure, they're returning, but I'm sure Monty looked at things, added new wrinkles into his offense and defensive schemes. So there's still things to work on. Plus, you get JaVale and Landry Shamet in the rhythm.
The thing that I liked the most about tonight was, based off of what happened yesterday, and we're about to bring our guy Flex on, but based off of what happened yesterday, Deandre Ayton and how he was going to – I was looking for his body language, how he was playing out there. And if you didn't know what happened yesterday, you would never know anything was going on. No. He did appear a little bit more aggressive offensively, which I expect for the rest of the season.
It's a good thing.
Yeah, it's absolutely a good thing. And, he played half the game, if that, and still had 14-11. Like, that's the guy. That's what you got to pay that guy. You got to pay him. And I know he's got that on his mind. I know everybody else does. And we're going to see how that works out.
Look, I could do without the three-point attempts. He's taken one in each of the first two games, and I get preseasons, the time to be a little bit in.
Launch him all the time, DA. Launch him.
In the regular season, I don't need to see DA
but I want him
up unless he's hitting them.
But it's different in a game than you are in practice, and you got to shoot him in a game, even if it's a preseason game, to establish your confidence and comfort out there on the three-point line. Otherwise, you're never going to feel comfortable out there. And for DA to go to another level, him adding that to his repertoire is going to be crucial. That's why he is our DraftKings king of the game for today. 17 points, 11 rebounds, 1 block.
And
that stat is wrong. He did have 14 points, not 17, but that's okay. Our guy Shane behind the Mac is a little rattled today. He was flustered because we switched the scene on him at the last minute.
Look, we'll just pump his stats, inflate him to help him get that bag. Whatever it takes, right? I just love the crown on DA in that image.
For sure.
Our DK player of the game. And if you love sports betting, if you want to put some money down on NBA preseason, if you're feeling a little saucy, you can do that with the DraftKings Sportsbook app here in Arizona. Use that promo code PHNX when you sign up. And if you bet $1 on any football game, if either team scores a point, you're going to get $100 in free bets. The last time that an NFL game finished in a 0-0 tie, 1943.
So you're saying it's a safe bet?
Yeah, I would think it's a safe bet. That was 40 years before I was born, and I'm 37 now. So that's 78 years now since the last time that happened. So I think it's a pretty safe bet that you can do it. And the best part, safe, reliable, secure with DraftKings. If you win that $100 and you need that $100 the next day, you can get that right out. You can pull it right out.
Say it, man. Say it. You can get that sweet cash. There you go, baby. That's what I'm talking about.
Take your lady friend out. Do whatever. Hey,
whatever. You know what you could do with that
God, what are you, 65? Yeah, you can take your lady friend out. Yeah,
Why not? I don't know. What do you take my wife out? You can take my wife out. Is that what
I think you should talk with her before you offer that.
I almost went to the beach to be with his wife because he kept bugging me here. I was like, dude, let's switch places.
She did actually text from my phone and say, if Greg doesn't stop texting, you should come here and come to the beach. Yeah. but bring your fiance so it's not awkward.
It was a little awkward.
So if you want to go to the beach and with your fiance and my wife, go to DraftKings and win some money with the DraftKings Sportsbook app. Same game parlays are always fun to do as well. They are great. It's just that simple. 21 and over, Arizona only. If you have a gambling problem, please call 1-800-NEXT-STEP. I'm trying to do this off the top of my head.
I was almost impressed right
New
there.
customers only. Eligibility restrictions apply. See DraftKings.com/sportsbook for details.
See, that's what I get. I showed off in the office earlier that I had it memorized because I'd said it so many times. And then the mustache behind the Mac, Shane Diefenbach, starts laughing and threw me completely off my game.
I was only laughing because you said it like, if you have a gambling problem. You said it like a commercial.
Well, it is kind of a commercial. Right? It is kind of that. Let's welcome in our friend. It's time for some Flex Appeal.
Flex Appeal.
We're bringing in Flex from Jersey.
There we go. That's what I'm talking. I was waiting for that one.
Our East Coast brother from another mother. It is Flex. How are you, man?
What's up, my guys? Can y'all hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Just fine.
What's up, Lindsey?
Hi, how are ya?
Flex, we're having John Bloom on tomorrow. Do I need to let him know that you're cheating on him by coming on with us in post game?
We lost your sound.
Keep that quiet. Keep that quiet. Don't let John. Don't let my man JB. You got me or no?
Yeah, we got you. We won't let JB know.
Are we here? We here? Okay.
We're good.
Don't let JB know that.
So Flex.
What's up, family? What's going on? Go win tonight.
First, what were your thoughts on the preseason win, game 2 here?
Fantastic, man. This is a well-oiled machine. I mean, it's it's preseason and everybody's playing around with lineups and stuff like that. But I tweeted it earlier, man. It just looks like they're just a well-oiled machine, man. It looks very San Antonio-ish. It just looks like anybody they throw into this lineup just fits in seamlessly. It looks like JaVale and Landry have been here forever. So, this is all good stuff, man. And then you got a guy like Elfrid Payton who comes in, and he's the backup to the backup. And this guy played 63 games on a top 4 team in the East last year. So it's all good, man. It's all good. I was very impressed. Bunch of guys in double figures, 102 points in 3 quarters. I mean, you can't ask for much more in a home preseason game.
I mean,
but again, it's preseason. But
let's be real about this because it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
None of this matters. Let's get to the real deal. What we all came here for. What we really want to know. Tell us what the hell is going on with DA. What you hearing? What's going on? Like, you got to give me some positive vibes right now. I need some positive flex today.
Guys, I feel good about the DA situation. I always have. I told y'all a couple weeks ago it was complicated. And the national media gets out and they say what they say. But if I'm being honest, I saw the report and I'm like, this is nothing new. Like, this is what we've known for a while. It's just now mainstream is getting it. But it's been a complicated negotiation. But I'm not worried one bit, man. Everything I'm hearing is there's no animosity. It isn't like the Suns against DA or DA against the Suns. It's not like there's no line of communication. It's not like they're hanging up phones and agents aren't calling people back. It's not like that. There's no animosity, man. Listen, it's a healthy negotiation. Obviously, things get out. But I think there's a deal to be done. But I tell you what, guys, I don't know if I subscribe to the panic mode that everybody else is in. I want DA to get signed. I think he deserves to get a deal done before the season. But I don't subscribe to this doom and gloom. If it doesn't get done by the 18th, DA is just going to go into a hole and it's going to become a problem. I just don't see that, guys. And that's not the feeling I'm getting behind the scenes. So I want it to get done, but I also want to stress that it is a negotiation. And if it doesn't get done, I don't think this is the end of the world. I think that a hungry, motivated, angry, pissed off DA might be the best thing we can get, considering the circumstances. So I'm not that disappointed. I'm not that anxious about it. I think it's all going to get done one way or another, guys.
Do you have a feeling, like a percentage that you could put onto this of how likely you think it will be that it'll get done before the start of the season?
Yeah. And I had someone ask me that earlier today. I'd say it's like 70-30 that it
Okay.
will get done. About 70% that it will get done. And again, I want to stress what I'm hearing is everyone wants to get a deal done. It's just, I wish I can go into some of the stuff I'm hearing. And me and Espo had a nice little conversation yesterday off the record, and we talked a little bit about some stuff. But it's just a negotiation, guys. And I one thing I will say is DeAndre is going to be a Phoenix Sun for a very long time. And whether we know that in the next 2 weeks or we know that at the end of next year, DeAndre's not going anywhere. This theory that he'll play on a qualifying offer is absolutely ludicrous. He will not play on a qualifying offer. He won't do that. So I just feel like we got 12 days left. Let's let this play out. And the elephant in the room is that everybody's talking about DeAndre and totally forgot about Mikal. And Mikal's situation is still out there very much in the open too. So the Suns got a lot of things going on. There's a lot of things behind the scenes going on. And I think eventually everything will work itself out.
But the reason why there's panic there, Flex, is that number one, you have already waited long enough before even getting to a point where you can lock these dudes up. And because you have waited so long, and for whatever reason, the market out there is dictating to you what now you have to owe these players. So the price keeps going up and up and up. Okay. The other thing is that we know what the issues are with DA, and with DA specifically, you run the risk of, and I'm not saying that he's weak-minded or anything like that, but I will say that, it seems like he's come into training camp with a bit of an edge, a bit of, whatever the case may be. And it's easy to point to this situation and say, oh, maybe this is the reason why he's coming in saying, I'm not a center. I could do a lot more than they're letting me do. On the defensive end, I held my own. I played as a team, but this year I'm going to get mine. Like that's legitimate. That's a legitimate fear as to why people would associate that if DA doesn't get a deal by the start of the season, that he might go rogue and do his own thing or not play within the concept of the team as well as he did last year, I should say.
No, listen, that's fair, bro. That's fair. And yes, DA does have an edge to him. And yes, there's a lot of things that are coming out of DA's mouth that are directly geared toward this situation. You nailed it. Everything you just said is exactly why DA is saying some of the things he's saying. But I'll say this. I think the Suns, let's look at the John Collins situation. Okay. So John Collins wanted max last year. Atlanta said no. They played it out. John Collins had a good year. They went to the Eastern Conference Finals. They came back. He still didn't get his max. He got a little bit more than what they were initially offering, but it got done. Now, am I saying that the Suns are taking a page out of the Atlanta Hawk playbook? I don't want to go that far, but I do want to say that the Suns are going to take this down to the wire, and they have the right to do that. And I don't agree with it, guys. Please understand. I'm telling you what I'm hearing. I'm not telling you what I'm feeling, right? Yeah. I don't agree that this is how it should be. But unfortunately, the rules are made the way they are, and there is a deadline of October 18th, and the Suns are absolutely entitled to take it all the way down to October 18th. And at the end of the day, people can say whatever they want, but if DA and Mikal get done before the 18th, no harm, no foul. It is what it is. Like you can't get that picky about it. But now, if it doesn't get done by the 18th, now we got something to talk about. But I also want to say this, guys. The thought of DeAndre not coming in, maybe being greedy or being a little bit selfish or maybe not being a team guy. I also don't worry about that because I know who Monty Williams is. I know who James Jones is. I know Devin Booker. I know Chris Paul. I know Jay Crowder. And when I say I know, I'm just saying same as you guys know. These guys are professionals. They're just not going to allow DA to come in here and do what some people are worried about. I just don't see it. I think he's a professional, and if it doesn't get done, he'll come out and he'll play his ass off. And this team will be just fine. They'll be just fine, and everything will get done. And I tell you what, if DeAndre is really a max guy, go out there and prove it. Go make it unequivocally clear. Make it an emphatic yes. I'm a max guy. And I don't think there's nothing wrong with that.
There's a couple things that worry me, but in particular, Mikal Bridges, if his deal gets done and DeAndre's doesn't, that is problematic to me, because that's where it starts getting in the that guy is more valued than me kind of range. That guy got his, which then can create all sorts of other offshoots that you don't expect and could potentially cause some strain in relationships.
But, before the playoffs, people were talking about Mikal deserving the max over DA. Like, that was a legit conversation piece for a lot of people out there in Suns Twitter. So I agree.
Yeah, and it's perception. That's being perceived like that. That's my concern, Flex. Do you think there's a chance that Mikal could get done and DeAndre doesn't, and there's an issue there?
I will say this, from the conversations I'm having, that is something that the Suns don't want to do. I'm going to go out on a limb here, and I'm going to say, and this is just me, just taking a shot here. I think both get done or none get done. Honestly, that's just how I feel about it.
Best case scenario.
Yeah. I think that's the way it has to be.
I think both get done or none get done, because I think that the Suns are smart enough to see that situation, and I just don't see a situation where you take care of DeAndre and not Mikal, or vice versa. Just doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
And again, I'm leaning towards both getting done before the deadline, and it being a great opening night and everybody pumped up, and it all being like a part of James Jones's master plan. You feed the hungry dogs right before kickoff, and bang, you give them the big fat steak, and they come out here and they beat the hell out of the Denver Nuggets. That's the ideal situation, right? And don't put it past them if that's part of their thinking. These guys are just, this is why they have the jobs they have, and this is why they have the power they have, because they think they're playing chess, not checkers, half the time. So, don't put it past if that's the actual master plan. They both get done right before the deadline.
I love to imagine that this is WWE style, and this is all scripted. Both guys know they're getting theirs, and they're like, let's leak a little something to mess with everybody, and it'll all get done before opening night.
I saw Vince McMahon in the front office the other day. Vince McMahon hanging out in Phoenix, apparently.
I don't really have any more questions about it. I will just say that, I am a little concerned, because I know, and this is, again, to your point, I'm not saying DA is weak-minded. Mikal is a little bit more chill. We'll say it like that. Like, he can handle this going through the entire season. A little bit more mature,
for sure.
DeAndre is a more emotional person. Mm-hmm. He wears his emotions on his sleeve. And I feel like something like this, we said it earlier when we first talked about this way back in September. I think it can mess with his head a little bit. It can go one of two ways. It can either be a huge motivator, or it can be, I'm going to start second guessing things. I'm confused. Mm-hmm. I don't know where my team's loyalty is, where my GM's loyalty is. Yeah. Should my loyalty change? I'm a little concerned about that.
Players talk, and the history of this franchise, especially the recent history of this franchise prior to last season, isn't that far removed from this team, and DA grew up in the Valley. So you can't tell me that he hasn't heard, the scuttlebutt about, Sarver and this franchise and how they operate and all these other things. So that's a legit concern for real, Lindsey, is that he's going to sit there and be like, oh, this is what they were talking about. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Like, I hope it doesn't come to that. I have a good feeling about the fact that James Jones and Monty are involved in all this, especially James Jones. But at the same time, I'm not going to lie. I woke up this morning and I kind of had like an empty feeling in my stomach. Like, oh, I don't feel good about this at all.
You know what, guys? And Lindsey, you make a great point. Of the two, if you're talking DeAndre and Mikal, I think everyone knows it. Just Mikal is just a different cat, man. Mm-hmm. That kid is he's just a different breed. But DeAndre, there is some things that are changing about DeAndre. He is a father now, and some things are calming down in his life. And, I honestly, if this was DeAndre from a year ago, I'd be a lot more concerned. But I just feel like DeAndre is starting to turn the corner behind the scenes a little bit. And I think that if there's anyone that you want on this basketball team in DeAndre's ear during this situation, which was a great quote that came out today from Chris Paul, and they said, "Are you worried about DeAndre's contract?" And he said, "No." And then he also threw out there that it was important that people realize Mikal's going through the same thing. And I think those are the type of comments and those are the type of people that give me a little bit of hope behind the scenes, because I just feel like if it didn't get done, I mean, it's real simple. You got a guy like Chris Paul that's going to be able to pull the big fella aside and say, "Hey, listen, you could soak on this and you can get greedy and you can get selfish and we can not get back to the promised land and we can not have the season we're having, and you can fumble the bag yourself by doing that." So, you are professional. You are the first pick in the draft. You are making plus $10 million this year. Go out there and rather than use this as a negative, turn it into a positive, get us back to where we want to go. And again, just let people know that you're demanding the bag, you're going to get the max money, and you deserve it. And I think if he does all that, I mean, everything else will fall into place. I mean, you guys have been around the game your whole life. These things happen. And let's be honest, guys. Robert Sarver was just on the radio like a month ago before the Chris Paul contract, and it made it look like he wasn't going to sign Chris Paul again. And everybody was panicking. And then a week later, it all got done, right? So I remember that vividly on the 98.7 on the Burns and Gamble show. Everybody was bugging out about Robert saying, "Hey, at this time last year, 6 months ago, I didn't even think we'd be having this discussion about Chris Paul." And it made it seem as if he didn't want to give him the bag. And then all of a sudden, it all got done. So I don't think it's as crazy and as toxic as things the national media is making it out to be. And I just got a feeling it's all going to work itself out.
Can Devin and CP3 just give DA a $207 million loan so we don't have to worry about any of this and we can just call it good and move on to basketball?
Man, hey, we need to hit up Kendall. She got that Kardashian money. What you talking about, man?
Hey guys, if Devin has the year we think he's gonna have and he gets all NBA, yeah, he's gonna have a huge bag coming his way real soon. So I think between Kendall and Devin, they can handle that.
Can they adopt me?
We'll put in the papers. We'll see if they can.
We're looking for sponsors every day.
Flex, before we let you out of here, have you heard anything else on any other potential moves that might happen before the start of the season, or are we looking at what will likely be the roster come game one against the Nuggets?
Guys, I'm still hearing a lot of chatter about Thaddeus Young, guys. That thing is not going away. I know there were some reports that people are saying is doubtful. I'm not hearing that. I'm hearing that the Suns and the Spurs are still engaged, and that things are still moving in the direction they've been moving. So I still think Thaddeus Young will be a Phoenix Sun. I like it to happen before the season starts. There is a chance that it could extend further. But again, there's an October 11th kicker date when it comes to Thaddeus Young, pertaining to when he can get traded in combination with other players and stuff like that. And we're still about a week away from that. So, at this time next week, when we do next week's Flex Appeal, I think I'm going to have a very good feel for whether this thing is going to happen before the season or it may drag into it. But I still feel like we're not seeing the full version of the Phoenix Suns that we'll see when we jump ball on the 20th. So let's see. Fingers crossed. Hopefully that starts to come to fruition. But on that front, I'm still getting positive information and feedback. So cool. Definitely still interested.
He is Flex from Jersey. Follow him on Twitter at Flex from Jersey. Hear him here on the Flex Appeal every Wednesday on PHNX Suns. Flex, go enjoy your evening out there on the East Coast.
What's it like? Midnight over there or what?
It's 8:52.
Nah, it's early tonight. Y'all did me good tonight. Hey, Phoenix needs to move all these games at 3:00, man.
I wouldn't be opposed to that
either.
either.
I'll be all right with that.
Hey, Lindsey.
Dinner.
Yes.
Right. Hey, Lindsey, are we calling you 2-time or 3-time now? Like you got that son? You got 3 now?
She got 4
I
if
got
you're gonna
4
count.
total.
If you count Emmys and Sonny's, she's 4-time.
Oh
4-time.
man. So you 4. Yeah, you big time, man. Congrats on that. That's huge.
Maybe that's
Hey,
it. Maybe it's big time.
Gerald's 2-time now.
Big
I
time.
can be upgraded to big
The
time.
big
Hey.
time.
I'm okay with that.
I'm at. Do I gotta have like my Kanye moment though, like with Taylor Swift, like yelling at Zona about being second team? Like, do I need to do that? Hey Zona, man, come on, I'm coming for first team next year, man. Come on, let's
You
stop
keep
playing.
coming on this program, you're gonna get it, Flex.
Let's go. Let's have a setup. And hey, I love you guys, man. Appreciate y'all. I'll be watching behind the scenes. Love y'all. If y'all need anything, hit me up.
It is
Appreciate you, Flex.
Flex from Jersey, our friend Flex Appeal, every Wednesday here on the PHNX Suns show. And
This ball placement right here is a little weird.
and speaking of
It's
ball
like,
placement,
hey, baby.
thank you for that.
Hey.
So for those listening on audio, there's a basketball on the table that looks
Saul's
like it's
hands look really
placed,
small.
placed between Saul's legs, which is appropriate because Manscaped. If the ball between your legs is furrier than the one on the table, Manscaped's got you covered. With the Lawnmower 4.0,
Yes.
you can trim those bad boys and have absolutely no problem with any unsightly, whatever you want to call it down there. If you were looking at the script I'm supposed to read, I'm supposed to scream.
No, you don't have to scream anything. If you listen to our hockey podcast, just so you all know.
Did they do that?
Oh, no. PD has some very unique verbiage for the hair that is down there. It's just the weirdest thing. I forgot what he called it.
What it was?
No nicks, no cuts.
Paraphernalia.
Paraphernalia.
Oh,
He
yeah.
called it
Paraphernalia.
You talked about paraphernalia
Yeah.
because they have a mat
That
to
you can
catch
put- yes,
things
yeah.
when you shave.
But then I told him, I was like, dude, you know that the clippers are waterproof, right? So like, just do it in the shower.
Well, then he made a good point. Then it clogs the drain.
Dude, how
And then you
long
have
is
to
your
haircut.
hair?
Then you have to get the Manscaped drain snake. All right, they should
Wait,
have
do
a
they
Manscaped.
really have a drain
No,
snake?
they
They
don't have a-
should.
Oh,
They
no.
They should.
It's a hair catch. All women have them. Like, if you get them for 50 cents,
It's not a problem. It's not a problem. No, he just wanted to say snake and balls in the same sentence. That's all that was.
Well,
Oh, okay.
I mean, that's basically what
Yes,
the read
I know. The read
said.
basically says you want to go from a mini size candy bar to a full size Snickers or
which
whatever.
is such a again. How long have you not shaved if you're going from the fun size to the king size? I don't know, and I'm not saying. I'm not going to say the Halloweeny line either. But
Good.
look, if you, there's a lot. I read earlier on the DA episode, audio only. We did this morning. I actually read the female read. That was a unique
well, I'm glad that you
experience.
did. I'm
Because
glad
you're
that you
hot.
did because there was no chance.
Yeah, I know. We've been working on Lindsay to say these Manscaped reads, and she's been very persistent on like, well, it's.
Listen.
I'll talk about the body wash. It's nice.
What I will tell you is that you can get, what is it? 20% off and free shipping when you use the code PHNX at manscaped.com.
And then
That's what I will tell you.
Then you, like 2 million other men, can say, thank you, Manscaped, for keeping my dagger slick and ready for wherever the night takes me. Thank you, Manscaped. That's 20% off, free shipping. Get that Lawnmower 4.0 or some of the spritzers or lotions or potions, whatever you need. Manscaped's got you covered. Even a mat to catch whatever falls.
I mean,
while
they
you're working.
basically thought of everything when you have to go and cut your pubic hair. Let's just be real. Like, you're in the shower, so they made it waterproof. If it's dark, they have a light. They have guards so that way you don't nick yourself. Like, they have everything that you could possibly have to make sure that your area is nice and taken care of.
Hold on. Who's going, I got to shave in the dark? Like, where
I
is
don't know.
that? Like, where does that emergency situation
This is what
come
I'll
up?
say. This is what I'll say. And
What if you bathe at night?
This is what I'll say.
When
Do you
you're
bathe
getting
in the
ready,
dark?
when you're getting ready to go out, maybe it's
Are
like a
you in
little
the
more.
dark?
You're setting the mood.
What I will say is,
I don't know. I'm trying.
What I will
okay?
say is there's a lot of shadow down there. Like, I don't know about you, but like sometimes you got to move shit around and you got to get, like, I don't know. Are we dealing with different things? I don't know, but you need that extra light just to be able to see what's going on down there sometimes. So that's why they put the light on there.
I mean, I will. Okay,
I have a ledge in my shower, so I just put my foot up and there I am. So
Hey,
All I'm gonna
Manscaped. Code PHNX, save 20%, get free shipping.
That is a terrifying image.
And,
well,
you know
the
what?
ball stopped everything from.
You know what? We've got so much Suns gear in this building that if you...
I'm really confused as to where this one's
Well,
going.
What kind of transition is that?
we can if you slide in the DMs, show proof of purchase. I don't want any pictures of anything but proof of purchase. Thank you, not proof of use. We will give away
I
some
hope
of our Suns
you get
merch.
a DP in your DMs right
Oh
now.
my gosh! I hope you do.
As long as it comes with a receipt from Manscaped and it's been Manscaped, we'll allow it as an entry.
Oh
I guess.
no! You guys send those to Espo.
You have to send
Nobody
it to
else.
Espo.
No! Don't even
All
try
right,
it.
let's get
Don't
out of
even
this
try
and
it.
let's wrap this up.
Oh my goodness!
Final thoughts.
Espo
on-
really wanted to get fired today. He was like, "Oh, well, let me just throw.
Okay.
Why don't you throw out Brandon's number too? While you're at it,
You can
let's just kill two birds."
You can text our
I got
CEO.
this. I got this.
All right, please save us.
Use this code PHNX to get 20% off and free shipping, but you guys should actually do it sooner than later, especially if you're looking at like a Christmas gift, right? If you're trying to add a stocking stuffer, women, if you're trying to help your man out for whatever
laughed at
reason you need
stuffer.
to, or dads, if you want to hook up your children, like teenagers, young adult children type of situation. As I've heard that Christmas this year, we should be planning ahead a lot more earlier than we have in years past from shipping issues, right? So realistically, you should probably order this right now if you want it here and make sure that you can have it here in time.
And if you're going downtown for the Suns home opener on the 20th and you want to be nice and ready, you better order now because we're looking at 2 weeks from today. And if you want to be ready for the game, get in the game with Manscaped. It's a PHNX, save 20%, free shipping. I think we've gone 10 minutes on that Manscaped ad,
That was
so we should be
solid.
good.
You could also get different Christmas gifts from gophnx.com.
Thank you. Thank you.
Which are really great gifts. We've got more merch in our locker room right now. I believe we have a new deal of the week for our members that starts
Tomorrow.
Whenever Saul and I can get it on the website.
Yeah.
Okay.
But it's basically 20% off of any PHNX branded merchandise. So it's you're repping the brand, and they're really cool shirts. They have a subdued black one, they have an all white and black one, and then they have a pocket kind of square black one, which is pretty nice. So those three shirts are 20% off starting tonight.
Yeah, memberships make great gifts as well. Since we're starting to plan for Christmas already in October.
No shipping issues with those.
No
too.
shipping issues there.
So you can be you can get one now and give it. You can
for
wait.
all of those poor people in your life who have birthdays around Halloween and Thanksgiving, get them this gift and make sure it's separate from Christmas.
This man right here, I have one of those. So you can get me a PHNX subscription. That'd be welcome. So buy them, send them in my DM as well. So thank you to all our current members for following along. And Gerald, who's not here, he's on vacation, but he has a great player preview series that he's rolling out for subscribers. In-depth written pieces on each player on the Suns roster to get you ready for opening night, which is exciting. And we're going to launch our video series starting next week on all those player previews. So plenty coming up on the team. Any final thoughts on preseason game number 2 and anything you hope to see as we proceed in the preseason?
I like the Suns championship odds. I do. I like them. Even with the DA stuff, as uneasy as it might be, I think it'll all work itself out in terms of his ability to play through it if it should not happen before the season, or if he gets signed, like him dealing with that and understanding the the requirements that come with the responsibility that comes with that kind of a contract. So the odds, I think we're at like 1,500 or 2,500 for them to go to the NBA Finals and win it. I like those odds from DraftKings. So yeah, I still feel confident in that.
I'm going to go with my favorite tweet that I saw today from our guy Brandon at Zona Hoops. He said, Suns lose to the Kings in a preseason game. Guys, it's just preseason. Don't worry about it. Suns beat the Lakers in a preseason game, 82-0, baby.
Hey, anytime you beat the Lakers is a good time, right?
Absolutely.
I don't care preseason, postseason, in a parking lot in the off season. If you beat the Lakers, it's a win, all right?
Yeah.
And that's always good. Also, we'd be remiss before we get out of here tonight. And if you're listening on the podcast, it may have already happened, but tonight, the Mercury, 7 p.m. out there at Footprint Center. They play with a chance to punch their ticket to the WNBA Finals in Game 4 against the Aces. Excited for that. And how cool was it to see the Suns play on the Mercury court
dope.
today?
Yeah, it was really dope.
Loved it.
Yeah, that was really dope. I mean, again, it's about pumping other people up and supporting people that do the same kind of profession you do. I don't really care if it's woman versus man. It's, hey, we're all a community. We're doing this together. Growing up, in high school, you played like the varsity boys would always play after the varsity girls, or you'd be on the road and you guys were always together doing the same thing and watching the same, supporting each other and hyping each other up. Like, it's no different at the college level. Like, they're always around each other and supporting each other. When I was in college, I always saw the women's team and we always watched them play. And it's a basketball community. And now you got the same thing here. And Chris Paul literally talked about that. We're passing each other in the hallway and being at the same practice facility. And Monty was talking about having conversations with Diana. And it's beautiful. It's beautiful. It's good, solid basketball. We are smack dab in the middle of probably the best era of Mercury and Suns basketball at the same point in time ever. And it's awesome.
It's fantastic. And hopefully we're talking WNBA Finals for a Merc Monday on Monday and maybe even on Friday, depending on how tonight plays out. So big shout out to them. Also, big shout out to the Lakers for putting together a roster that looks like the way you put together a big 3 roster. Hey, did that guy ever have a big moment in the NBA? Is he old? Sure, we'll take him. So congratulations to you, LA. We look forward to seeing you in the regular season.
This one's a good question. Brian, I believe, I'm so sorry if it's pronounced a little bit differently in the chat, just asked, if Book bounces Braun again in the playoffs, can we start calling him Kingslayer? What do you guys think?
I'll allow that. I'll allow that.
Let's get to April and actually get that matchup before we start. Oh,
I already know what's about.
No, but we have to brainstorm nicknames though, so that they're ready to go.
I already know what's about to happen. The Lakers are not going to play us in the first round this year. It's just karma that they're going to end up playing the Nuggets, and the Nuggets will be fully healthy, and they'll still lose to the Lakers. You heard it here. You heard it here, DNVR. I got you. I was like, where's the camera? I was looking over here. I was like, is that no? That's the camera.
You're assuming that MPJ and Jamal Murray will be healthy by playoff time?
It's a big assumption.
That is a big assumption.
But I like those odds, whatever those are on DraftKings.
Hey, I love that we're back in a place where we can just assume the Suns are in the playoffs rather than praying and wondering if it will happen. So That is a wrap on this post-game edition of the PHNX Suns show. You can follow, what are we calling you, big time, Lindsey Smith at Lindsey.
2-time, 4-time, 6-time, 8-time, big time.
I wanted to call you 2-time, but Flex is like, really, she's 4-time if you count the Sunnies, and then you said big time. So it's big time, Lindsey Smith at Lindsey Smith AZ. Saul Bookman at Saul_Bookman. The underscore is there
for the ball
or for the number of wins the Suns are going to have against the Lakers. You got to have a big space for that, and he's got that in his handle. I'm at Espo on Twitter. The show's at PHNX_Suns. We will talk to you tomorrow. Ahoy, hoy.